Hello, Brother Monroe here. Welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts and to the World War II Battleship League. And I'm here, as always, with our resident expert, Drachinifel.
Hello.
And what ship are we going to be looking at today?
We're going to start with the big hitter for Division 1, which is Yamato.
Indeed. Oh, before I forget, I'd better turn my everything back to inches because I don't think we want to do it in millimeters.
Yeah.
Okay, so Yamato, this is probably the one that it's the big, as you said, the big hitter of the division with the 18-inch guns and things like that. So what displacement did Yamato get to? What are we talking about?
If we're going with full load, it would be about 71,500 tons.
Mm-hmm.
We seem to have needing to use the full displacement. Although, do we know? I've just realised. Do we know if Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts uses long tons or conventional metric tons?
I don't actually know. I've seen it written TONS in other bits of the game.
Okay.
So I think it uses...
in that case, we probably want to put it up to metric tons then, in which case, for the sake of a nice round number, put it up to 73,000.
Okay. There we go.
We'll see how it works out.
Sure. And what was her top speed?
Top speed designed for was 27 knots.
27? Could she actually reach that? Or do we not know? Yeah, I'm only picking up on that because she's...
We have scattered information for the Yamatos. We know that they did reach the 27 knot speed, but whether or not the trials allowed them to exceed that slightly, which sometimes does happen on trials, I don't know offhand.
Okay. Range we'll come back to. What about bulkheads? Were they especially heavily subdivided? Or
fairly substantial. I wouldn't say maximum, but maybe many.
Many. Okay.
She took a heck of a pounding to sink.
Yeah. And then trained crew and presumably standard crew quarters, or did they have expanded ones?
I mean, Japanese crew quarters weren't particularly brilliant, to be fair, but that's more to do with just general standards. And Yamato herself was known to be somewhat more luxurious than the average IJN ship. Partly because I think they just ran out of, with the massive amount of internal hull volume, they ran out of other things to put in.
Fair enough. Okay, what about towers? So we have four choices, but two of them are very, very similar. So we have one that looks like this, with these kind of platforms for secondary guns, which you can also get on the secondary tower as well. And then we have the Super Pagoda, which is just kind of a standalone big thing. But if you put it next to one of these, it's similar. It's just not kind of all one piece.
Okay, let's have a look at the Super Pagoda in profile.
Oh, sorry. Super Pagoda. There we go.
Okay, so... it's similar to Yamato Musashi. Let's go back to the other one. I mean, I was going to say, construction-wise, they're very similar. What have we got as the other options for the secondary towers?
Okay, so secondaries we have. Well, we've got this one.
Yeah, which is just
this, but without the front tower on it. We've got one like this, which will actually kind of dovetail right into the back like that.
Which
end up with
is
something that
correct.
looks like that. And then
I think we should go with that.
Okay.
I think. Hang on. No, we do need some fire control towers. So.
And then you've got one that kind of looks like this with a big mast at the back.
No, I think with the other one.
This one? Like that.
Yeah, that most closely resembles Yamato, but we will need to scoot scoot it a little bit forward.
Sure. Should we do the guns first and then move the superstructure? Okay, so the guns, what were they?
So do triple 18s. Well, 18.1 technically, but
we can do that. There you go.
There you go. So you've got a pair of 18.1 super firing forwards, and then the one aft. So we will need a barbette.
Yeah. Now let's see. I think the huge will work. I don't know if that little. Oh, they actually kind of sink into the deck. That's kind of neat.
Yes, which is actually correct.
And it does super fire. Oh, fabulous! And then
that's good.
I think I'm right in thinking that we should do the secondary guns.
Yes.
Now,
so we need an extra tall. Right? Yeah, we need an extra tall mid-sized barbette to stick a 666 in.
So something like that.
There you go. Yeah, and then we shuffle the superstructure forward to go right up behind it. There you go.
There we go. Look at that.
And move the. There you go, and then we move the back nice and flush, and then that. If we're looking from the top down, the kind of widest point of the barbette should be pretty much on that dividing line of grey and wood.
Like that?
Yes, because we've got to fit another slightly smaller barbette with another 666 on the back.
Okay. That is going to be tricky. I might need to... Let's have a look. Could probably get away with this one.
I'll go with a taller one.
Taller one? Yeah, we can do that. That one's a bit taller. It's not as tall as the front one, but getting there. That's about as far back as I can get it, and then going to bring that one back as far as I can. So it's not quite in the right place, but
if we go forward to the forward guns, there's not really anywhere we can move it.
No, they're pretty tucked in, and this is pretty much the only place that barbette will plop down. Finally. Okay. That doesn't look too bad. I don't.
No, I mean it's very definitely Yamato. Just with the aft gun is just a little bit too far back. It's like a dinky Yamato.
What about other secondaries? So presumably there were secondaries sitting on these platforms here.
Yes, so we need twin 5s there. And then we need another pair of 666s. Now, there's going to be interesting to see if they'll actually fit.
Whereabouts were they?
So they're on the wings. Like basically, just a fraction. Yeah, just a fraction forward of that, and facing forwards.
Can fit them there.
Yeah, historically they're between the first and second of those platforms.
Oh, here. Yeah, these little light, they're actually secondary gun mounts. These things you can put little anti-aircraft guns.
You know what it is. It's because this hull, they've configured it in. They've configured this for the late war Yamato fit. Because I was going to go with it as originally fitted,
right?
Which would have these wing 666s, but later on they actually removed these two wing 666s and just fitted a stupidly large number of additional AA guns.
Well, seeing as secondaries don't really matter, shall we go with the late war version then?
That'd be quite funny.
Okay, so what were these huge numbers of AA guns? 2-inch kind of things.
So we need another bunch of. We need another set of twin 5s. And those go. If I just pull up my plan. So those go basically offset from the platform guns, offset forward. So kind of one there, and then and they're not even letting you in. Can we increase the beam to get them in?
Yes. Let's go for 5%. Kind of there, it'll let me do it. What about
Let's just go full bore.
Full beam? It doesn't really.
So if we can get it just forward a bit more forward, basically almost behind that little searchlight platform.
Yeah, they're just
That's
slightly
not
too
gonna
big,
happen,
aren't
is
they?
it?
Yeah, it'll let me put it kind of here. But
That's annoying. We can't get either of the historical armaments.
Ah.
Because we need another 3 pairs of those.
What about? I know it's not historical, but what about replacing these with 555s? We'll give you the same number. Not very historical of me, of course, but it would be. Or the other thing we can do is we can kind of fit them here, and here, so that they're a bit more fore and aft.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, if we're going to do, yeah, because I mean, historic. Oh, hang on a second. With the main tower, is there a version of the main tower that's got additional platforms on it?
No, but there is the secondary tower with extra platforms. There's this secondary tower which has another.
I was thinking of maybe does it have the double stacked platforms rather than because this has one set.
That's the one we're using. Oh, this one looks like it might.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. That's complete. I didn't even see that. That one is different.
And that's slightly shorter as well. So if we move that forward, we might be able to get the.
There we go. Come on, game. There we go.
Ta-da!
Hey!
Yeah. Right. So now we can put the. So we put twin 5s on those lower platforms, and then those you've got the 2 little boat deck type boat cylinders and the little searchlight. They also get twin 5s.
And annoyingly, the game doesn't think they'll fit. However, if we go for a twin 4, they will.
Okay, let's do that.
And then, I mean, it's just to make it look right, but maybe I can oversize them. That looks wrong. There you go. They're 4.9. Close enough. Rounding error. There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, they're they're 127 mils. So
settings, mils. Let's look. One. Yeah. So yeah. Kind of bodging it a little bit, but close enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So that means at that point, well, 25 millimeter is the
Let's go back to millimeter then.
Is the caliber of the little AA guns.
And did they come in singles, duals, or triples?
That's 51s. Okay.
I can reduce them down to. What did you say?
Oh, if they fit, they fit. Then that's fine. So.
What did you say they should be? 40s.
They should be. They should be 25 mil. So I don't think we're going to be able to reduce them down.
Get down to a 28.1. That's the smallest.
Yeah, let's go with that then.
Let them go. Which is, I think, what, a 1.1 inch gun?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1.1 inch.
So we want to fill in all of those. And then we want, in theory, we want a kind of stepped back. Yeah, so kind of a stepped back, almost as if we're making it'll be a hexagon.
Right.
So kind of, Yeah, basically, yeah. Stick them on all the little platforms that look like they should be on the superstructure, and then yeah, with that little deck mount, and then we've got the. Effectively, if you imagine if you were drawing a hexagon made of these gun mountings, with the points be the sort of the anchor points being the 2 666s.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of drawing a diagonal line from the 666s to these outermost mounts.
So
that's it.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, and then the same up the other side.
It's almost like they were paranoid about aircraft.
Yeah, just wish they probably just wish they had a slightly better anti-aircraft gun to be paranoid with. I think there may be some, depending on the model at the stern, there may be some little bays for them. Oh,
There
yeah,
are.
the searchlight.
Yeah, there are. There you go.
There we go. That'll probably be about enough. As we say, they don't really. It doesn't really make much odds in this game, but it's funny to have something that looks vaguely correct.
Hey, if it came across as transport, that transport would disappear very quickly.
So yeah, we need one nice big raked back funnel in the middle.
Okay. See if the big one fits. Nope. Nope. There we go.
Yep. There we go.
Lovely.
There we go. So that is basically our Yamato, I think.
Looking
appearances wise, anyway.
Looking amazing. Right. Okay. So, propulsion. What kind of oil did she? Well, I know she was probably supposed to use good oil, but
yeah, by the end of the war, she's basically loading up on raw crude from the Dutch East Indies. So probably give her oil 1.
Okay. And then
she does have good boilers though, so balance boilers, yeah, and geared turbine,
double geared turbine,
yeah,
or are they just double reduction?
Yeah, geared 2,
and then
probably about will be Augs 2, shaft. Let's say shaft 3. Semi-balanced rudders fine. Electro Hydro 2. She was pretty. They had to have a monstrous, for obvious reasons, have a monstrous steering system to get this thing to turn.
That's my dog. Millie, shush. every time I try to record. Okay, armor protection. So we've got Crypt 3 is the basic, and then we've got 4.
So we're going with Crop 4, I think.
And saving Crop 5 for just the top end stuff.
Yeah, because the weird thing is with the Japanese armor manufacturer, they did have issues and they did have material flaws, but they were understandably very picky about the Yamato's armor. The famous picture that you see of a faceplate that I think was for one of Shinano's turrets that a 16-inch US shell blew through in testing. That was actually a plate that was rejected because it was not good quality enough, which is why it was lying around.
Sure, fair enough. Anti-flash protection?
About 4, I would say.
4, okay.
She's a very modern battleship.
And then torpedo protection.
So what's the description for the anti-torps?
So
she does have.
I think it's just so they say that this is just the number of bulkheads to 4.
Yeah. Okay.
And then 5 is thicker and extends from the side to the bottom of the hull. Sorry, I'm just going to go calm my dog down. I'll be back in a second.
No worries. So, the slightly odd thing is that she had, as I said, a flawed protection system, but by the descriptions she should have torpedo protection 5 because her torpedo protection system did actually go all the way down to the bottom of the hull.
All right.
And I suppose it also represents just how tough she was. So
yeah, it does give them a little bit of extra floatability and resistance. Assuming she had at least a double hull. Yeah. And presumably she had watertight doors.
Yes.
And a flooding system. Anti-flooding system, I should say.
Let's go with anti-flood 2.
Mm-hmm.
She had the ability to counter flood and everything, so it was relatively advanced.
And then still type, presumably all or nothing.
Yeah, she's all or nothing. Yeah.
Okay. And then we're on to armament. So, should we get the shells and things set up and then look at what the guns are doing? Yeah. Now, I will say, for those who've seen me playing the game, they probably know this already. But if you just watch the historical ones, there's a bit of a weirdness with the 18-inch guns. So if the numbers are way off when we start looking at them and we're choosing weird things, that's why. So, what mixture of shells would she have carried? Probably.
So I'd go with standard ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing that you can't account for in this game is her Type 3 incendiary anti-aircraft shells.
Well, I mean, we can use incendiary high explosive shells if you want.
Yeah, but there's no aircraft, so
no. But
no.
What kind of did she carry regular HE shells as well?
Yeah, regular base fused HE, and then. Let's go with cap to start with. We'll see how that works with all the penetration values.
Sure. We'll come back to shell size.
Yes, leave that for the minute.
And then, do you know what kind of propellant the Japanese used historically? Were they using a type of cordite, or were they using?
Yeah, I'd start with cordite 3.
Mm-hmm. And then
our bursting charge.
Sorry.
I'd go again. Let's start with picric acid 3 because Shimose was based on cordite, which is picric acid based. So,
and then her turret traverse mechanism.
So the rate of rotation of the turret is 2 degrees a second. So what have we got at the moment?
1.87 degrees per second.
What happens if we kick it up to electrohydro? Does that give that? Probably will give
2 degrees a second. There we go.
There you go. Right. Well, there we go.
No, done. That was easy.
Yeah.
And then,
assuming that adding all the extra armor to it doesn't affect that.
It might actually have quite a lot of armor already. Yeah, it does.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, it won't be too much then, right? And then reloading wise, what is our reloading rate at the moment?
1.55 rounds per minute.
Okay, so I mean that's at the lower end of her actual bracket, but it is actually within the bracket. So let's stick with that for the minute.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Rangefinder.
Yeah, rangefinder.
So give her coincidence 5.
Mm-hmm. Presumably she had
very good optical.
Hydrophone of some sort.
Hydro 3, yeah.
And radar RDF.
So RDF will give it some advanced radio because and Gen 1 she had a radar, but it wasn't the greatest.
Sure. Okay. So what range would you like to look at for the gun in terms of penetration here? And I'll grab my calculator.
Right. So the penetration values that we have, this is in meters. Okay, that's useful. So at 20,000 meters, which, depending on which source you believe, the side armor penetration is either about 19.5 or possibly just over 22. Okay, so if we can land somewhere between those two values.
Okay, so 19.5, we'd be looking for 48, or actually no, more like 49-inch effective. So we're way below. And the upper figure, so 49 to 22.5, 2.5, and the upper bound would be 56. So 49 to 56 on. Annoyingly, I can't move my mouse over to the tooltip to show people, but at 20,000 meters, Currently, we're at 32.6. So we're way off.
Against base material.
Yes. So there's a conversion factor of 2.5 between them. So the number we're looking for is somewhere between 49 and 56.
Okay, well, let's first up the cap on the shell to its best performance.
Okay, so if we go with a Cap Ballistic 2, we're up to 35.
That's not a huge increase, is it?
It's really not. I think mainly do they give you better angle?
It gives you slightly, but it does give you plus 36% AP shell pen, but apparently there's not a huge increase. So what? Okay, let's go with the propellant then. What happens if we change the propellant? So we've got 483, which is giving us.
We could go for a triple base, which is kind of. I'm just curious what it will give us. Hardly any change on that. Yeah. What about tube powder? Tube powder gets us to 40.5.
What's our minimum threshold?
49. Because currently 40.5 would be in actual plate thickness 16.2 inches.
So we're still quite short. I guess we're going to have to start lengthening the gun.
We can also swap to TNT 4. That should help.
Okay, let's do that.
That gets us up to 45. So that's in kind of shouting distance. Just need a little bit more. So yeah, we can fiddle.
Can we increase the gun length?
We certainly can. Let's give it an extra 5%, not 56%. Let's get it up to a 60. There we go. 49. There we go. That's the lower end of what they were.
The lower end threshold. Okay, let's go with that then, because otherwise we're going to be inventing rail guns.
And rate of fire has dropped a little bit to 0.49 rounds a minute.
Right. So we need to dramatically up the reloading.
Well, we were only on standard. What about a?
Yeah.
I mean, semi-automatic, we can get to 0.6. Well, 0.59.
Oh, wow. Okay. What happens if we go to full auto then? I mean, we're already gone overweight, but we'll deal with that in a minute.
We can fix that. Full auto, 0.73 rounds a minute.
Boy.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, really bad. 82.6 seconds to reload. So this is part of the problem. This is a game thing, not a problem with Yamato.
I have a feeling we might. I think, in the interests of fairness, we might have, because I mean the armor penetration is colossal anyway. I have a feeling we might need to walk back the length of the gun somewhat. Keep the auto 2 reloading and see how far we have to walk it back before we get into the realm of sane.
So what kind of reload figure should we be looking for?
1.5 ideally is our minimum.
Okay. 1. I guess it's to 0.87. Going to the default.
What else have we done with the rest of it?
I don't think we've done anything. I think it was low to begin with.
Well, it was 1.5, but then
no, it's only 0.5 to start with.
Oh, 0.5.
Yeah, it was really low.
Right. Okay.
This is part of my problem with the game is the really big guns, 18 plus inches, especially. The reload times are so slow. Because these should be doing 1.5 rounds a minute, or something like that. So getting that to 1.5. I mean, maybe if we shortened it, but that's going to introduce problems
with
in terms of the pen, because now we're down to 39.9, which would be only 16 inches of armor that we could go through. But it now can fire at 1.1 rounds a minute, which is still not, amazing. But
16 inches is still going to be more than anything.
It should be enough.
I mean, that baseline is more than anything that it's going to encounter at 20,000 meters. So, yeah, I'd be tempted to go with that rather than upping the AP values, because otherwise we're going to end up with some. I mean, just over 1 round a minute. Okay, that's more like battle evidence for Yamato, so you could probably just about get away with that.
Yeah.
But I think if we take her down to like around every 2 minutes, especially with some of the other ships she's going to come up against, it would be crippling her out the gate.
Yeah. And just out of interest, what was the length of her actual weapons?
So the actual 18.1 inch guns were 5 caliber.
So we're using the 50s here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just a little bit on the low end in terms of rate of fire. Well, it's nice that we're using the historical length, but what about the lengths of the other guns? Just purely for interest. So what about those 6-inch guns?
Japanese 6-inch guns. Let's. So what range brackets have we got on those?
Oh, don't worry about the penetration. It was just purely in terms of the length.
In terms of the gun barrel length, they're actually 60 caliber weapons.
60? Good lord.
Yeah.
Can try and 51 is all we're going to get to. And the 5-inch?
5-inch are 40 caliber.
So they're really stubby. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go. No, that can't have updated properly. But it's saying they're 50 caliber, but I don't believe it. And we can maybe get the 4-inch to 40 caliber. Oops, I did not click on you. Let's try -10. Again, devs, please consider making this an actual caliber button rather than a percent. And what about the little little stubby AA guns?
The little 25 millimeters.
Probably.
Look.
Doesn't matter, but
no. Don't actually have that information to hand.
No, that's quite all right. Should we move on to armor instead?
Yes, that's going to be quite the complexity.
Okay, so main belt. Should we start there?
Main belt is 16 inches.
And her 4.5.
Well, she's an all or nothing, so can't go with 1.5 splinter.
Nothing much. And this will get us underweight, I'm sure of it. Yeah, there we go. Her main deck?
The main deck is 8 inches thick. She has slightly edges to it, which are 9 inches thick, but the majority of the deck is 8 inches.
Okay. And then presumably nothing much on the...
we'll go with splinter 4.5 again.
The tower, conning tower?
Conning tower. That's a good question. Conning tower. I don't know, actually. It's not something I've got a value for. Let's give it the same as the main belt and call it 16 for the minute.
Fair enough. And the superstructure?
If it even has one.
Probably splinter
1.5. Yeah.
Okay. Did she have layering of any sort? Or she was just going to go with a splinter on each?
Well, you just got this massive deck. 50 mil is what, 2 inches? So I'd give her a deck, a 2-inch first in a deck, and then just minimal on everything else.
As in like just 0.1 or like
yeah,
okay,
or like 1 inch because that's going to be the thickness of the physical decks.
Hold on, There's
or thereabout.
there's a cheating way of doing it. Hold on. And I know this sounds silly, so you go 2, and then you just go 1, and then it'll fill in all the other ones below it. I don't even know if that's intended behavior, but if you max them out and then change the first one, and it'll just update them all like that.
Okay.
Okay then.
Yeah, because there's a lower belt, but it doesn't. Again, the game doesn't really reflect that. It's the underwater belt section. Okay, so then we've got the gun turrets.
Yep.
And this is going to be the fun part because, the gun turrets are incredibly thick.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to guess how much?
24-inch.
2 more.
26.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a chunky turret.
Yeah.
Well, should be pretty good at keeping things out, one would hope. What about on the top then?
Right. For that, I'm going to have to get a new document up. So the turret armor roof is 10.6.
Mm-hmm. And the barbette? Which for viewer, I mean, long-term viewers will probably know this, but when we say the barbette armor, we don't just mean the superimposed part that you can see, but the armor of the actual barbette inside the ship.
Yeah. So 15, between 15 and 22 inches. So let's go with 22 on the top.
Sure, we've got the weight.
Yeah.
What about the 6-inch guns?
Because those were lifted straight off of the Megamis, so my Megami stat line will probably help with those. Of course, they're Japanese. They're Japanese 6-inch turrets, so 1.
1.
Yeah.
Okay.
One
one everywhere. Okay. And presumably the 5-inch guns.
They're basically 1 again.
Yeah.
If that.
And the 4.9 1. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it.
Mm.
She looks
And interestingly enough, she's come in at 66,000 tons, which is just a little bit under her trial displacement. So
we could actually.
Yet.
We haven't done range yet. We could actually reduce the displacement slider as well, which is going to improve her engine efficiency a little bit. There we go. She's got a bit of an weight offset, but that's more of a game thing, I think.
Yeah.
Than the
actual design. For her range, we need to kick the range up a little bit to 13. At max. There you go.
There you go. And now she's more or less at her displacement.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Fair enough.
Okay. Well,
it very definitely looks like a Yamato.
Yeah, it definitely does. Let's see what she looks like out on the open water. This is the Bismarck that we did previously. She's a long, long way away, though, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looks pretty close
very
to
Yamato-ish.
me. Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you very much. Really interesting one to do. And I look forward to the next one as well. But this one looks absolutely fantastic. And I can't wait to see if I can get her in range of those AA guns.
This division is going to have Iowa versus Yamato, Iowa versus Bismarck, Yamato versus Bismarck. It's going to set off everybody.
Well, we're going to settle it once and for all. No, not really. It's just a game. It's just a game. It's for a bit of fun and a bit of... to generate discussion and thought, because you're not going to be able to go back in time and steal the Yamato and the Iowa and have them fight each other. So this is the closest you're going to get for now. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching, and thank you, Drachinifel, for helping me build this wonderful vessel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.
Bye.